Patient says, "Mama, so I say, I want my really like a man who will know it. I have to say, love four, love four. So I tell her, say, I want my really last to say, all right, let's see. So I tell her, say, I say, I want you and say, my really last to say, like cheese. She said, like cheese? Yes, so I tell her, cheese. He said you left the woman again to the house more? Yeah. Patient has been told me to woman dance again told me. She didn't tell you. That woman wasn't told me. I think before you laughing. Oh, none of you.
I don't want to get you, man. Why you want to be very small. You want to make
so I say I want my really like a man who will know it. I have to say love four, love four. So I tell her, say I want my really last to say, all right, let's see. So I tell her, say, I say I want you and say, you want my really last to say, like cheese. She said like cheese? Yeah, so I tell her, say, I wish cheese. He said I saw cheese. He said you left the woman again to the house more? Yeah. Patient has been told me to woman dance again told me. She didn't tell you. That woman wasn't told me. I think before you laughing. Oh, none of you.
Wow. Good afternoon. Good afternoon and a pleasant welcome to Freedom Hub on 87.9. This is the official voice of Freedom Communications Incorporated. My name is Kyle Oliver Kine. I'm here today on this wonderful Tuesday afternoon in the nation's capital with the time exactly at 10 minutes past 4 o'clock in Monrovia. Wherever you are, however you are listening, what a pleasant way to welcome you to this fascinating edition of the program. Today, we intend to rumble into too many issues making the news in the political corridors of our country. With the 2023 general elections, ahead, there are too many political maneuverings, a lot of political negotiations, too many political discussions, more political transfers, and of course, there are political discussions ongoing. However, they will end, whichever way they're going to be ending, it is important that we keep you updated on a daily basis with all of the latest developmental news relative to the political discourse in the country. We are told that the former Vice President, His Excellency Joseph Yoma Boakai, was able to return to the country on yesterday following days of trip in the United States. We're going to be talking more about some of the conversations that were held behind the scene in the U.S. We're going to tell you more about how the folks went to solicit funds, monies intended for the 2023 campaign, but again, it did not end correctly as the potential borrower, as the potential, places of income, they didn't do them justice. And so there is this issue of the newest political negotiation that is on the blog. We'll tell you sufficiently as to what's going on. A breach of protocol at the level of the Liberian Revenue Agency. The Liberian Revenue Authority, the LRA, is an area of interest as there is something that appears to be a clash between the newly appointed Samuel Bennett and his boss, Thomas Nando, with reference to the transfer of a lot of these custom officers from one point of entry to the other. The latest has to do with the transfer of the custom officer in the Freeport of Monrovia. We are told he has been over there for a longer period. The administrative mayor at the level of the LRA, Mr. Bennett, thought wise to have several of the collectors, several of the custom officers assigned at the Liberian Revenue Agency to be reshuffled. According to global custom laws, a custom collector should not be at a particular collection point for more than 2 years. In the spirit of pushing and moving custom collectors around, the administrative mayor at the LRA decided to have some of the custom collectors replaced, to have them reassigned in the spirit of boosting transparency and accountability. But what we are told is that the collector assigned at the Freeport of Monrovia for the past 4 to 5 years is reneging, is refusing to accept the new guy who is supposed to relieve him of the position. Yes, and our investigation has uncovered that this is happening because the Commissioner General, in person of Honorable Thomas Nando, is refusing for this guy at the Freeport of Monrovia to be changed. What is the situation we are getting? What is it? Why is the guy refusing to leave the port? Are there some sinister issues going on? The conversation will try to unearth most of what we've been able to uncover over the period. My name is Kai. The year is 2023, and we will keep pushing, having all of these conversations as we intend to prep the minds of Liberians ahead of a major democratic deciding point when Liberians will be going to the polls in selecting who becomes the next representative of a particular district, who's going to be the next senator for a particular county, and subsequently, who's going to be the vice president of the country to preside over the Liberian Senate, and of course, who's going to be the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia and the chief executive of the Republic of Liberia. Those conversations will be held, and we will provide our opinion and guide the people, help them make some wise decisions as it relates to how the country should move. We're going to be taking a few bars of our team song. By the time we return here on the program, a lot will be discussed. 15 senators will be going for re-elections. I repeat, 15 senators will be going for re-elections. 15 of those senators, some of them completed the tenure of those they replaced. For example, Senator Todd Joseph is replacing Senator George Weah. I repeat, Senator Sir Joseph is replacing. As a matter of fact, he is completing the tenure of Senator George Weah. And so he didn't spend 9 years in the Senate. But again, there will be senators like Vanin Botonambi Sherman of Grand Cape County who's going to be going for re-elections this year. So we're going to be having 15 of our senators going back to the different counties in their quest for re-elections. We're going to help you today in evaluating what they've done. Trust me, the representatives have a lot of pressure on them than the senators. I repeat, the representatives are more embarrassed. They are more pressured. They have a lot of weight on them than the senators. The senators, they got 9 years to their credit. They have a lot more in terms of allowances and different benefits than the representatives. Trust me. But again, they are the ones who can do the least in terms of involvement in their respective counties. For one or two counties, there is some difference. For one or two counties, there is some exception. And so, as Liberians will be going towards the polls in making a determination as to who will represent each of these counties, as the newest senators, we're going to be giving in our own opinion, a way in on what should be done, what should be considered, what Liberians should be thinking about. As we're going to be crowning somebody senator, I remember for a period longer than the presidency, for a period longer than the vice presidency, for a period longer than 6 years. These are things we need to be talking about so that when you're making somebody senator, you're not going to be making one empty talker, a senator who's going to have a zero impact on the society. Join the conversation at about now. By the time we return, we have a few bars of our theme song. We're also going to be having word from our sponsor, Crime Stoppers Liberia. And subsequently, we're going to get the ball rolling right here on this Valentine's Day in Liberia and across the world.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the sort of vigilante-side justice in this country, none of us will be saved. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, and death. And we have seen recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Simon.
She's in a cheese? Yes, so I can say la wish cheese. He said I remember I saw cheese.
You said you let the woman I can tell you I was more.
Yeah. Patient pass again told me to woman dance again told me.
She can tell you.
That woman again told me. I think I can before you laughing.
Oh, let me have you.
So okay, so I got all of you cracking in the keke, and most of you listening to the conversation from the comfort of your homes. You're all laughing and enjoying our the opinion is so crooked. This is a definition of banana. He's a classical banana man in this situation. So yes, before we get to the political side of things, today is February 14, and across the world, there is this feelings of Valentine. I don't know the history of Valentine. I don't know what it is. I would have gone to Google the history of Valentine and know exactly how it came about, or what's the essence. But since we are told that it is a day set aside for people to show affection, or better so for people to demonstrate their affection for those of whom they love so much. Yeah, and so we see people all across the place. Social media is overly crowded. Liberians across the world, citizens from across the world. You can just name any country you think about. There are people having social Valentine messages. From one place to the other. So people are expressing their Valentine, affection for one another. It is a good thing. It is a wonderful thing that people who are alive will find time to, express how they feel about people. Some people would choose to say it. Some people would choose to, do it on social media. Some people would do it through messages. Some would do it through quiet family time. Some will want to take a time out. Some were going to go to the most expensive restaurants across the country. They want to go and have boat ride. They will do a lot of stuff. So it depends on how and how you want to have the day commemorated. But in the end, the sole purpose of Valentine, according to our basic understanding of what it is that people are to find means to show to the world over who their Valentine is. And so, yeah, so beyond the politics of the day, beyond the different political maneuverings and all of the different political discussions we're going to be having, it is essentially important that we pause for a while and reflect on what is happening across the country. So somebody told me tonight is going to be a busy night all across the world. A lot of the entertainment centers will be overly crowded. Most of the homes will have some private celebrations. There's going to be this time out with the family people. It's a day that people will show too many affections and so forth. And so yeah, so that's the Valentine. Who is your vibe? Yeah, that is $1 million question. Is Austin Kawa listening? Call Austin Kawa. If Austin Kawa is listening, Austin, I want you to text me. Abu Sharif, if you're listening as well, I want you to text me also. So I read in text messages. I read in text messages. You text me your vibe, and I'll probably say that for you on the radio. Yeah, text me the name of your vibe. I'll probably say that on the radio. So my brother Kawa, I was coming to job and I passed by you in traffic. You were already retiring while I was trying to come to do my own portion of the people's job. So text me, my man. Text me the full name of your VAR. If you don't do it, I'll hold you responsible. For those of you who are watching, Philip Pasha, text me the full name of your VAR as well. If you're watching, let us know who your VAR is, and that's exactly how we're going to keep the the show running. But again, yeah, I was kind of kidding. Austin won't text that business. But one thing I know is that his VAR is Madam Promise Kawa, Promise Tia Kawa. I was there. I attended that wedding. And so, yeah, that's Austin's VAR. So Austin, I call your VAR for you. For Abu, I cannot take the risks because I don't want to be held in contempt of this court. Yeah, so as we begin the conversation, let me take this time to say happy Valentine to Madam KOK. Yeah, so I would not have done this show without using this big platform. You know, with thousands of individuals across the country, you know, listening to us, millions around the world via the internet and so forth. We would not feel good were we to do this show without mentioning Alva. So, Madam Nico, Lofty Kinapo, KOK babe, want to say happy Va to you and the rest of the family. Yeah, so this is our way of saying happy Valentine to you, to all of the family people, and to those of you our fans, the followers. Once you're listening to us, happy Valentine from Freedom Hub to you. Alexa is not here today. Had Alexa been here, she would have joined me in wishing all of you out there, our dear followers, those of you who like the things we say here, those of you who cherish what we say, those of you who cannot live without listening to us on a daily basis, I want to say happy Valentine to you as well. It is because of you we are here. It is because you are our followers. That's why we are here, and we appreciate the fact that you are there for us. You know, when we open the microphone, we know that you are available. That's why we are energized, you know, to talk on a daily basis. So happy Valentine's to all of you. I wish I could get one Valentine's song to play before we talk politics. Yes, Baby Bug, I'll come and help me. What's the song I gotta play? I don't even know. Okay. Okay. So let me play a Liberian song. This song was done by FFA. He features a Nigerian musician called Chidima, and they call this one Desire. For all of you having Valentine special moments, want to say happy Valentine from us here at Freedom Radio, from Freedom Hub, as a matter of fact. So beginning with mine, darling, beautiful KOK babe, Nico, Lofty Kinapo, and the baby boy is saying, why didn't I say Kain? Kain is very soon, very soon. Kain is going to be added to that name. Yeah, but let's do the song to be right back. Then we talk politics. It's called Desire. It was done by FA. He features Chidiman. Okay, so we own no copyright to this song. Just so you know, Facebook, we own no copyright to the song we're about to play. We own no copyright to it. So yeah, let's do it. Be right back. The way that I am feeling about you, baby, I don't know. See, baby, I love you. But the girls they want deeper than you I see. Baby, I don't do. Baby, that you I want to. Yeah. Okay, so in the midst of political, in the midst of the political era, we tend to have this day commemorated as well. So if you're out there having that time for your people, your partners, we don't want to have an old school, political show. We gotta mingle into the contemporary era. Happy Valentine to all of you out there. And this is from Freedom Hub on 87.9. Madam Councillor, Kevin Freeman Sion. And the woman is saying, I should say, Happy Valentine's Day to Omen Sam Samuel. Yeah, Omen Samuel Sion. Yeah. This is a Valentine treat from the Honorable Councillor Kevin Freeman Sion to the CEO, Old Man Sam Sion. The old man just texted me to say, Peter Zebra, Happy Valentine. Oh, yeah. So, my man, Austin Kawa is saying, I should say, Happy Valentine to you, Madam Promise Chie Kawa. It's from the man Austin Kawa, Brother Paul. When your name is witching is Madame Nimini. Happy Valentine as well. Abu Sharif, I'm not wishing Valentine because I don't know where to chunk it. I don't want to be held in contempt. Okay, so somebody just told me. Somebody just told me. Yeah, somebody is telling me that this radio is currently loud at the executive mansion of Liberia, and so the president is saying to Madame Claire Marie Deconti, where a happy Valentine as well. And somebody also told me that this radio is loud in the rehab community. So Omen Joe Bwaga is saying to Madame Katumu Bwaka, happy Valentine. The radio station is not allowed to come in this area because, anyway, let's leave the conversation. I don't even know what I come in say Valentine. Let's leave it. But Omen Joe Bwaga is saying happy Valentine to Madame Katumu Bwaka. Okay. I'm gonna read exactly what Abu Shari wrote. Abu Shari is saying, please wish all the beautiful girls happy Valentine for me. We are proud of everything they do to make us happy. Abu Sharif, like seriously, I need a name of somebody to wish happy Valentine, Abu. You gotta come tell me to name all the, I mean to say happy Valentine to all the girls in the country. No, Abu, I'm not gonna take this for an answer. Oh yeah, so somebody people making flower with me. I mean, I'm told that the radio is not loud at Mr. Cummings' house, so I'm not too sure if Valentine message came out. Yeah, but it was loud at Omen Joe Bwaka's house, so Omen Joe Bwaka is wishing Madam Katumu Bwaka happy Valentine. Like President George Weah from his residence in Cinco. You're saying this one to Madame Claire Marie Deconti Weah. Yes, and like I'll say here on the platform, to you, beautiful Miss Nicole Lofty Kinapo, okay, babe, happy Valentine as well. Yeah, so Abu Sharif, you are a reactionary who has refused to let us know where to chunk your own Valentine, and because of that, according to you, we should say happy Valentine to all of the girls because they keep making you to feel better. If it was a group with an issue about the Mandingo boy, he's terribly he communicated. The guys the guys say communicated instead of complicated. Abu, your own situation is communicated. Hey, listen again. The other guy for a relationship on Facebook, he said it's communicated. The guy said what? It's communicated. Instead of complicated, she said it's communicated. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up. Yeah, so we're gonna wrap it up. Sorry about that. But Valentine. So yeah, we got to go to the real conversation. I hope you're enjoying yourself out there. This is our way of yeah, it is freedom of social corporate responsibility to the public. You know, our way of of identifying with the folks as it relates to what's going on across the country. Now, so here is what we are going to talk about. The first thing is the Liberian Revenue Authority is a very strategic entity of the Liberian government. Now, the reason why the LRA is very essential is because it is the fulcrum on which every government, and I repeat, there is no government on the face of the earth that will function without a strategic revenue generating entity. In the case of Liberia, the Liberian Revenue Authority is that statutory institution with the sole responsibility of generating our money. It is what they generate that we can put into our consolidated account or whatever account at the central bank and pay salaries. We fund national projects and invest into different things in the country. Now, there are laws on the book nationally, and there are international laws that Liberia, as a sovereign country, is a signatory to. Such laws will include the international custom laws. A revenue collector in any country should not be assigned to a particular area for more than 2 years. That is an international, I mean, that is an international requirement. It is clear. The international custom law, I mean, the provisions are there, and pretty soon we'll be reading to you what the rule says in Liberia as it relates to, moving people around from the different custom areas. Now, in Liberia, we have had custom collectors from the port, Bowatasa, Plodo Border, Ganta Border, RIA, the different, revenue generating entities. We have had LRA officers assigned to help generate government money. In keeping with the doctrine of transparency and accountability, and so that people will not become so complacent at a particular piece of job and continue to, exploit the situation, the government decided to institute a policy that will see to it that a particular revenue collector will not spend more than 2 years at a particular point of collection. Because when you send a man to the port or you send a man to RIA and he is the custom man there for more than 2 years, what that is saying to you is that there is a possibility that he will become compromised in that area. Because when I know that Austin Kawa is the LRA custom officer, the chief custom officer at the Robertson International Airport, and he has been there for ages, and I know that he's not moving from there sooner, I could connive with Austin easily to have a whole syndicate established that will be passing goods through that place and under declaring because they made him a buddy. But if I know Austin to be here today, maybe if Austin were corrupt, tomorrow it will bring Abu Shari. Abu Shari still corrupt. Maybe the next day we could bring, another person who might not be corrupt. So even when you have that deal with a particular person, after 2 years, maybe you got to know the person when the person just had 2 more months to the expiration of their assignment. When you come back the next time you meet another person, the time it will take for you to establish a new connection, it will become so difficult. So like that, when you keep rotating people from one place to the other, it builds the integrity of the institution, and it will also enhance transparency and this issue we call credibility. Mr. Summer Bernard, the recent, I mean, the commissioner, you know, for administration, who was recently appointed by the president, decided to move people around, and several letters were issued to people to be replaced from their current position and reassigned to other places so that, you know, somebody can stay on one place. And I'm going to read one of those letters. I'm not going to mention the name of the person involved. I'm not going to mention their position, but here is it. It says, in keeping with management decision, we are pleased to inform you that effective February, blah, 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 you are hereby rotated to, you know, point blank as, you know, CBO senior collector. This action is being initiated because you form part of the staff category subject to staff rotation in keeping with section 7.17 of the HR, you know, on the job, whatever the case is, right? So they say all, you know, benefits and so forth, blah blah blah, remains in the same, and this is a lateral move. You must report to the blam blam blam. You know, I'm skipping this, you know, major, you know, how you call this thing. I'm skipping the major information because I don't want this person to be traced. But similar letters were given to a lot of folks in keeping with section 7.17 of the entire human resource, you know, at whatever the case is, the handbook at the level of the LRA. And it is to have people remove, I mean, let me not use remove, is to rotate people from place to place so that people will not, you know, develop this whole mindset of sticking to a particular area and start to familiarize themselves with the place and start to do some nasty jobs. These people were giving, you know, how you call this thing? These people were giving their letters. Some of them have already started to pack out of their offices, whether you are assigned at the airport, whether you are assigned at Bow Waterside, whether you are assigned at the different mining companies, the B Mountain, you know, MNG, you know, ArcelorMittal. These custom officers, bulk of them have started to move from place to place. Now, the sticker issue is with the Freeport of Monrovia and other places. We are told that Mr. Jerry Dia, who is the collector, and according to our information, he has been serving for over 7 years at that area, is refusing to accept the new person who has been assigned at the port by the commissioner on administration at the LRA, on grounds that it has been alleged that the commissioner general is telling the man to hold on. He should not honor the notice, the notice for ending his assignment. He should not honor anything of such. In fact, he should not comply with whatever rotational process. It has been alleged that the commissioner general is the one backing him. So we are told that the new person who was assigned to the port, who is supposed to relieve him of the position, went to the area and the office is locked. And the office is locked. We are told that the new person who is supposed to relieve him of the position at the port went there, and this man who has been there for over 7 years, Mr. Dia, has refused to leave the position because he has the backing of the Commissioner General, Thomas Nando. Now, I don't know what is the situation, but it has been alleged that Thomas Nando is the one keeping the man there, you know, and not wanting him to leave. A place like the Freeport of Monrovia should not have a custom officer spending more than 2-3 years. According to section 7.17 of their own handbook and their rotational policy, that should not be the case. And so it is being reported that as we speak, the 3 commissioners at the LRA are having issues. They are having issues because administrative decisions emanating from the angle of the commissioner for administration, those decisions are not being adhered to. They are being disrespected by, you know, or better still disregarded by the Commissioner General, and there is this issue of clash of supremacy, and that should not be going on in an entity of the government. We saw that at the Bureau of High Court concession. We saw that recently. We saw that with the Gregory Coma entity. People in authority, people who are given the responsibility to preside over a particular government entity should stop the issue of internal wrangling. No, it doesn't say anything good. Administratively, from the fundamental standpoint, those who are in charge of administration are the ones close with the authority to work with the HR in moving people, from one place to the other, in handling the affairs of manpower. They do that and report to, the head of the entity. In most instances, the head of the entity will not have any actual decisions to make in the kind of situation, except there are some violations against the act creating that entity or the laws of our country. In this situation, there is nothing that we are told is the reason for Commissioner Nah allegedly refusing to have this man replaced on the port. For me, I don't care who goes to the port. I don't care who is going to be assigned to the airport. I don't care which of the commissioners you're going to send to this place. But trust me, once we depend on LRA to generate money, LRA should ensure that they respect their own policy. When you have one person sitting to a particular area for over 7 years because that person is sitting one place for more than 7 years collecting money, it doesn't say anything good about credibility. That person gets grounded to that place. They will know everything about the place. And once the place is so familiar, people say, look, criminal, he can steal to place where he not know. All the road we can catch, this Zogoden can operate in places that they don't know. That's why you see sometimes in the day, they go around the island, they're collecting cup. They're collecting bucket, zings. What you see them doing, they are having surveillance. They're looking at the environment and knowing all the different roads people can pass. They know, what place to escape from when they tackle them. So when you see them passing around collecting bucket, when you're around your place, standing out to pick bucket because they are doing what we call the surveillance. At night, when they come back, they already familiarize themselves with the terrain. So when they're going on their operation, in the case where alarm blow, they know how to escape. Nobody will go blow terrain in a strange, blow terrain in a strange terrain. For those of you on the street, you know exactly what I mean. Nobody will blow terrain in a strange terrain. So people would normally make the terrain familiar before they start to blow terrain. In this case, to keep somebody for more than 2 years, you create a situation where the person will get so much adjusted. And when that is the case, they start, to carry on too many dubious issues. And in the end, the LRA will not generate the projected revenue they're supposed to get. The entity has been doing good. They've been performing exceedingly well in generating resources. But I believe if they can straighten their internal policies, especially with the policy on rotating people, moving people from one place to the other, don't keep one man there more than 2, 3, 4 years. When they can improve on that one, a lot of money will be adding to government revenue. But when you keep people one place for a longer time, those men can just start getting rich over there, because once the men stay on there, now the men know how to operate. In fact, the men will know, when Austin and Abu, breaking that continuum, you will know when the other one is bringing, because he's aware, so you get friends there now, plenty of friends there, plenty of people, right? Because he spent almost 4 or 5 years there now. He has familiarized himself with all of the clients. So in most instances, there will be too many under declaration. People will be under declaring, so if the men want to pay $10,000 on a consignment, he'll pay maybe $4,000 to government cover, then they get customer $2,000, then how much $6,000. So the man, the consignee, the man who got the goods will be left with maybe, $4,000 that will be waived onto him. So you'll find too many under declaration, too many crooked G activity can start. So in the spirit of improving good performance, but at the level of the LRA, Mr. Samuel Bennett, the Commissioner on Administration, thought otherwise and in keeping with Section 17.17, he decided to say, look, you know what we're going to do? We are going to ensure that we rotate people. People still in a position too much, we got to shake them up. And you don't do it, people will steal. Even the churches, with no offense to the other churches, but the Methodist churches, the Catholic churches, when you when you are assigned as a local pastor or a local priest to this parish or to this, local church, after some time, the bishop will take you from there and carry you to another place. You keep people one place. When they get too used to the area, there is a possibility to start to get influenced by too many things, and before you know it, what they were supposed to do or what they are being assigned to, to do will be undermined. So I am asking that in keeping with your own law, not any laws of the country, but in keeping with what is the session? In keeping with section 7.17 of the HRMP, you know what that means. This letter did not spell that out. In keeping with that, your provision, you should add, let the people be rotated. They should rotate people on the job. Honorable Commissioner General, it has been alleged that you are the one providing shield. I don't know why you want to do that, but we hope it is not what we are thinking. If it is the situation, let the man go, send him to another place. But people should be, there should be this rotational situation from time in, time out, so that it will enhance productivity. That is what we are calling for. And I just hope, this issue will go across. We've been investigating that over the period. We've had too many inquiries sent to the LRA, no response. We've gotten so far, and so we thought to openly have this conversation. One man should not spend more time at a particular area. That's said and done. Now, the next conversation we are having today is with the number of senators going for re-elections in this country. So we have 15 senators that will be going back to you, the Liberian people, for them to be re-elected. 15 of them. I'm told 1 or 2 of them may not want to contest again. They tire, yeah. But one thing that I know is that in Maryland County, Senator Blebo Brown is going to go back for re-election. He's contesting. I beg your pardon. Grand Creek County, I'm told that Senator Albert Tubatier is going to go for elections. Sino County, I'm told that what is his name? Senator Milton Tiaje is going for re-elections. Yeah, so there are a lot of senators going back for re-elections. River G County, Senator Komini Wisa is going for re-elections. Montserrat County, Senator Sir Joseph is going for re-election. We are told in Cape Mount, Senator Vanish Sherman, we are told, is also going back for re-elections. And yeah, so the list is endless. Jonathan Kape of Grand Bassa will be going for re-elections as well. So there are too many, yeah, Senator Prince Johnson too will be going for re-elections. In Lofa County, I want to call them from off here. The ones who will not get off here will consult our research paper. Lofa County, Senator Steve Zago is going to be going back for re-election. So you have 15 of them across the country that will be going back for re-elections. Now, why am I singling out the 15 vacancies? Now, I'm saying this because the legislature as a unit, as a body in this country, is noted for having the fat jobs and benefits. With no disrespect or whatever bad intention towards members of the Honorable House of Legislature, but at least the lawmaker, they're making something good. More than ministers. I'm talking about salaries and incentives. Ministers can get a different cut, a different operation. Now, in that same legislature, the senators make a lot of money than the representatives. I'm the one saying it, Oliver Kine. I'm the one saying it. In fact, the budget, when you open the budget, the Liberian budget, the component that has to do with the Liberian legislature, you will understand that the senators make more money than the members of the House of Representatives. Quote me on it. Not only do they make more money, they have a lot of time in office than the representatives. And I'll open up the phone lines for you to help me with this conversation to know whether I lie or not. The senators got 9 years. 9 whole years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years in power. The representatives got 6. The senators make a lot of money than the representatives. What are the allowance? What are the insurance? The other benefit of rental, the other car, this and that, allotment for this one. The senators take home good portion of money than the representatives. I want it clear. So don't see senator and representative and think they are equal. Duration in power, benefits, and other goodies, they are not equal. The senators are getting it bigger than the representatives. Clear. With that one said, we've noticed over the period that irrespective of the argument, the justification for that is because the senators say all the districts in the counties, they are responsible for it. You know, they represent the entire county. For representatives, they will represent a particular district. So since they are the ones covering the whole county, that's why they are taking, small increment, as opposed to what the representatives are taking, that the justification they have. Now, back of these senators, they do little or nothing in their counties at all. And this is something that we have not been discussing over the period. And I'm not having an attack on the Liberian Senate, but I'm being honest with this conversation because there is an adage that says, to whom much is given, much is expected. Most of the senators, when they are elected for 9 years, they go to bed, they go sleep. You know why? Because the primary point of contact in every county in this country is the district. What are you listening to me right now in the country? By the time you got small problem in your community, what the first thing you can do? The representative. How many times do we call senator? No curry in the area. The first thing people say, the representative. District 17 recently they have protests for curry. I mean, for 12 years, the United Party government, did not carry one wire across St. Paul Bridge. Thankfully, under this administration, in less than 5 years, curry went across, one side of the Broadville area, got some curry. The men who ain't get a curry on the other side thought it was a protest, and that's democracy. And I just hope the government will go there to respond. But what I'm saying, when the issue, was raised in District 17 with reference to a legislator, the first point of contact was Hanson Kazulu, the district lawmaker. Yeah, it has been ringing. The first point of contact is the district lawmaker. People don't call senators. People don't call senators. Most of the senators are relaxing. Whether that Nimba, Maryland, River Geo, Grand Geo, whatever in this country, bulk of the senators are relaxing. Bulk of them. They take a lot of money than the representatives. In terms of emergency from the county, from the districts, they do not, the shocks the representatives can receive. Horse Bueno, by the time Horse Bueno in one day, look, District 9, District 16, District 7, all over the country, every time you have houses burning. One house burning, the first thing people think about in the country, the district representative will have to go there. Either he's saying his office staff or he himself or herself will be on the scene to make intervention. To see senators doing that across the country in their respective counties, it's tough. Why then do they receive more than what the representatives are making? One PE say, man, when they appoint you to senator, they will deny you, no problem. We'll reach to that level, we'll cross it. But the reason I'm raising this issue is because as you'll be going through the process, you should elect senators who will not be liability to the country. When they say the country is making progress between this time and this time, or the country has made progress between this time to this time, it is because there are members of the legislature who were able to, through their legislative involvement or through their extra legislative involvement, who were able to complement the effort of the executive in making making provisions where necessary and where applicable. These senators, it is difficult for the senators don't really have pressure on them. They know what I'm saying. They know that. The senators know exactly what I'm saying. They don't have a lie. The kind of pressure lawmakers from the lower house can receive, in the Senate they can receive, I bet. That's why you find most of the representatives, when they are in their first 3 years and there is a midterm election in the county, you can see them rushing. They won't be senator because they want to escape the overburden that they are encountering at the lower house. They want to escape it. Now, these senators are supposed to be given back to the society. You got 9 years for going heaven's sake. You have a little over $12,000 to $13,000 every month as your intake, whether through the allowance, through your splash card, through your rent, your debt, you put it together. The average is around, $12,000 to $13,000. It used to be around 15, 16, but under the government said no, we shouldn't be wasting too much money. Although what it is at the level, it is still a representation of waste, but yeah, let's appreciate it because it was never like that, 12 years ago. Now, what am I saying? I'm saying to you that they have had 9 years of their time. Each of these senators will be going back to you. You should ask them, what have you done with the 9 years? The 9 years of extra money you've made over the representative. What have you done? Because your justification over the period has been that you were receiving more money than the representative because you cover the whole county. What have you done? And I would take some counties as case study. I would take some counties as particular case study for this conversation. Since Montserrado County is the heartbeat of this conversation, let's discuss Montserrado. Each county is blessed and statutorily obligated to have 2 senators constitutionally. Montserrado in context. No, election fitting, 2020 election fitting. We're not gonna deal with the 2020 electoral rhetorics. But hey, the same money Senator X of River G is making is the same money Senator Y of the other county is making. Maybe when there's some kind of committee and some kind of different legislative transaction happening, that one a different OPS. But on the paper, all the senators make the same allowance on the paper. Yeah, when it comes to committee work, your committee guy, another allotment, that one a different OPS. But the senator, they made the same amount. In Montserrado. The last time I checked, yeah, although he myself not cool, Sir Joseph myself ain't real cool, Senator Joseph. We got our own personal issues, but our personal issues will not override the supreme interest of the county. And so I personally, as Oliver Kine, I do not value the personal differences I myself have. But this individual has been able to significantly make some impact with the extra money he's receiving than the representatives to impact the lives of people in his county. These 15 senators who are running back to you for elections, we may not like Sir Joseph. Others hate him for some other reasons. For me, he's not the talking type who can really deliberate on issues that forceful on the floor. Yeah, I may not admire him for that. But to see the level of involvement he has had over the period, right now in the country, for example, the whole NTA, one man went to NTA and spoiled the whole place. Yeah, the head of the NTA, the Transit Authority, he spoiled the whole place. You can even see NTA buses passing around. Had it not been for Sir Joseph, there wouldn't have been affordable public transportation in this country. Yes, technically, from a technical perspective, I also have some issue with Sir Joseph because as a senator, he is supposed to invite Macaulay and the entire NTA to give account as to why the buses that were brought by the president from India, why the buses are not functional, why they are not actively involved, why all of the buses are down, why the NTA is dejected, why the place is so bad, why, most of the buses are not roadworthy, and there is no return on investment. He should be having an oversight. But of his legislative involvement, the mere fact that he was able to go and introduce this Monserrato transport situation in the absence of the national service provider, it has been relieving the people of the stress of commuting from one place to the other. That one senator doing no. I mean, check out around the town. You see Monserrato transport buses more than the NTA. This is one senator's job. Oh, okay. What is it doing? Is it making magic? The last time I checked, Sir would take himself from here and go speak kissy mates with English to the American people and then beg them. They gave him buses. He put them on the ship and cleared them in Liberia and put them in the public for the public use. What is stopping what is stopping the lawmaker, the senator from Grand Bassa County from going to the states as well? It may not be it may not be buses. What is stopping him from going to speak Bassa and English mixed up together to the white people, letting get in some ambulances to bring them back to the country and have them assigned to the people of Bassa? What is stopping the lawmaker, the senator from Maryland County, from speaking both Grable and English to the white people in America, and so that they will bring some fire truck or they can bring some ambulances or medical consignment and the people in J.J. Dawson, Cleveland Mercy Hospital, so that they have access to it? What is stopping these senators? 15 of them will be going back to you. 15 of them will be running back to you. For you to give them not 6 years or the years you can give the president, the years you can give the vice president, that's why they will run back to you to give them. They will run back to you to give them 9 of your years. So the day you make them senator, if you went to bed and decided to make a child, when they are leaving power, that child will be automatically 9 years. That's somebody who you can sit down and talk. That child will be somebody who you can sit down and compare. No, y'all will talk. Y'all have real conversation. 9-year-old child. From the day you make one of them senator on October 10th, before they leave power, if you have a child on that same day, that child will automatically become 9 years when you're leaving power. They're going to be going back to you. So it's not playing magic. And somebody should not say, oh, Sir, it's doing it because of his government. Under an Ellen Johnson administration, when Sir Joseph was a serious CDC man, he also brought ambulances to this country that saved the entire country. I told you the man was saying, personally, we ain't got good term. We good. He was saying, friend, too good. Because he's a reactionary, plenty of reactionary thing to do. But on the issue of performing his outside legislative functions, mind you, a lawmaker is statutorily elected to have oversight, to do lawmaking and representation. Those are the 3 cardinal responsibilities. I am grading Sir Joseph on the basis of his extra legislative responsibilities. In this contemporary Liberia, that is what we need for a modern transformation to take place. The last time Sir was uploading container filled with medical, certain medical supplies. And I heard the guy who was on the live video say, once you get a hospital, just rest at Joseph's office. They will come and see your hospital, your clinic. When they do the assessment, then they will take some material. What are the hospital bill? What are the Tylenol, different antibiotics and other drugs they will supply a hospital. You do the other one. I saw that happen. I mean, that is a clear, of legislative responsibility. these senators who are running back to you, 15 of them, I'm just discussing one. What are the rest doing? I mean, you may not be the one breaking, all buses to do your own, maybe McGivy Transport Service or Maryland Transport Service, but you could go and lobby for the same tractors. If I can go to America and bring all buses, all ambulances, and bring how you call this thing, all medicine that are medically, okay for the people consumption, you too can go to Australia and bring all agricultural machines for your country you're from. You could bring it for Grain Crew. You could bring it for River G. You could bring it from Maryland. You could do that for Grain G there. You could do it for Lofa. You could do it for Bapolu and other places. What is stopping you? You make more than the representatives. You have 9 years, 3 years extra than the representatives. Your allotment individually, the allotment alone is more than what the representatives are making. So what is stopping you? You have the luxury of time. And like I said, you do not encounter a lot of problems than what the representatives encounter on a daily basis. So they'll be going back to you. For a country to move forward, yes, or we'll put other the blessing and say, oh, the president do the one, the president is the main child of the country, but we have a system. 3 separate branches of the Liberian government. The legislature is one crucial branch. Since they are the ones receiving a lot in terms of, fees and other stuff, the people say to whom much is given, much is expected. These people should be, look at what Sai is doing. Right? And like I told you, I said, if you think because he's from the ruling party, then let's look at when he was in opposition. He did the same thing when he was in opposition. So it has nothing to do with whether you're in ruling party or not. A senator should not be in the ruling party before making the kind of intervention. Sai was never in the ruling party when he was having over 6, 7, 10 ambulances in the country picking up Ebola patients and Ebola bodies in this country. No, he was not a ruling party lawmaker. So no senator should sit down in Monrovia and open a mouth and I'm part of the ruling party and I'm getting different benefits and preferences, so I cannot do what Sai is doing. To say that is to show that you are an ingrate to the country. There are other senators who are doing some stuff I may not know. If you have, give me the information with tangible evidence that I can speak to. But from the average point, from a general perspective, a lot of them are not doing anything good. They said that 9 years. What was the senator of River G County doing for 9 years? Go to River G County, go there. Now show us impact of what the senator of River G County did in 9 years. Oh, you want me to take you to my home in Maryland County? We want to know what was the senator able to do in Maryland County for 9 years. The senator in Grand Cape County is going back to the people of Cape to want to be re-elected. For 9 years, he was in charge. What did he do in 9 years? We're talking 9 years here. 3 years more than what the representatives can make. Now, the essence of this conversation is for you to be able to quiz these people as they will be running to you. To quiz them. Quiz them. Today, that the other 15 minutes. By 20, 24, 25, 26, 26 around there, the other guys under 9 years will be expiring. In the case of Monserrato, we have a senator who was elected in 2020 for his original term because the first one, it was 2 years, he ended. We have that one who was elected in 2020. If we don't start to ask the hardcore questions by now, by 2026, that senator who is DeLong will go back to you wanting re-election. He will be like the same senators who going back in October now, who will be going to you to go back you. Right now, he got 9 years, 9 year reduced now, so he got maybe 7. Technically, he got 7 or 6 plus, to go. 6 plus to go from a technical standpoint. Right now, He's not seeing the need to do a lot of stuff. Not only is Senator Dillon, there were other senators who were elected in 2020. They are not seeing the need to get involved in helping to, look, let me say this to you. Look at the amount of roads that are being rehabilitated across Montserrat by Senator Joseph. Now, assuming you have similar things being replicated all across the country, mind you, he is just one out of the 2 senators in Montserrat. So, assuming each of the counties of their 2 senators having similar involvement, maybe one of them opening the roads and the other one doing something else. The other one opening the roads, the other one doing something else with their extra legislative involvement. I mean, are you imagining what that could cause in terms of transformation? Go to Clay Ashland, go to Addington. The last time I saw Sir Joseph opening the roads in places. Now we keep complaining in this country that Labrador, no from the market road. These senators, what are they doing? What are these senators doing? Because every village, when something happens in the village, the first point of contact in that village are the representative. So now before even reaching the senator, the representative finish solving it. And that's why it is so difficult for people to become re-elected in the counties from the representative standpoint, because most of them are encountering difficulties. So sometimes when you not get money to solve the other problem, people say you mean, they both get the other problem with you. When they go to election, they will not vote for you because the pressure on you. And that is only happening because the senators are relaxed. They are not involved. They are not involved. They don't get involved with making impact. They don't do it. What is stopping these people? What? They just think about the amount of roads that were rehabilitated. And Montserrat is just bigger than most of the counties. So imagine some of these senators having maybe vocational schools, their extra legislative involvement. Do something. So these senators make a lot of trips to America, to China, to India. But small hospitals in their counties are without medical supplies. And Sir Joseph can go speak Kisi, mess with English, broken English, whatever the case is. However you want to criticize him, go there and speak Grebo, mess with broken English too. Go speak Crown, mess with broken English. Go speak Crew, mess with broken English. Go and speak Lama or Mandingo. Go and speak whatever you can speak with your opponent of broken English and beg for medicine too and come and bring it. Because the people who you represent, they do not have the note verbal to go get any visa anytime to go lobby for themselves. When you are a lawmaker, except you get personal criminal records, that's when visa issue will get you problem. But when you apply to any embassy, they give you visa because they know you got a better job here, you'll not run away to that country. The reason people can do visa tomorrow, they don't want people who left busy, they ain't got nothing to defend in their country, to just go and sit in the country and be doing uselessness. That's why they can hold people on visa. But lawmakers, they don't have any hindrance with reference to issuing visa, except they got personal issue with their character in people's countries. You understand it? Now, what are they doing? Most of them travel. Most of them travel to the places. Most of them go to places and see these. Look, let me say this to you. The material when you go in America, when you go in Europe, it go in Liberia. The Duncan flag we're wearing that other people clothes. Hello? The Duncan flag we are wearing that other people clothes. I think you call used clothes. The other people clothes, they wore, they got tired with it, they put it in washing machine, they restash it, they put perfume on it, and they package it and brought it back to Liberia. So we open it, water side, we shake it, we see the new clothes, we bluff it around, you pass it, nobody wear it before, but somebody already wear that thing in America, they got tired. Somebody wore the clothes in Norway, in Ukraine, in Germany, in France, in Belgium, they wore it, they got tired. Go back. Some of the trucks the Americans say are not raw water. They are raw water in our mud in Magibi. They raw water in the forest of Kunembo. You live here, you go to America, you go to Germany, you go to France, you patrol the entire Europe. You have a portfolio that cannot, that cannot be stopped. You're senator in your capacity as a senator of Maryland County or as a senator of River G, you can go to the States. You can lobby with the local government. I know of a state in America where there are a lot of these vehicles. There are junk vehicles in the American standout. You bring that one in abroad, that bring new cars to us. Look at the buses I just brought here for the people to operate. See the buses moving here and there. You think the buses are the American, schools where you think the buses they were certified with? The buses where they have planned and say, look, you know what? These buses are not going to last for more than 4 months. In 4 months' time, we'll be trashing them out. We'll be scrapping them. So you go to the places, you lobby, you bring the buses back to the country. You bring them. They will help. They will help ease the tension. The way people used to suffer to get car to go to Gattersville, it no longer is that way because the most of the buses are now available. Imagine all of the counties across the country with the county, how do you call it? A county university, Nima County University, Bon County University, William Vietnam University. Imagine if senators had this involvement with their bosses, or maybe they go lobby and bring some road moving equipment to it for the county. Most of the counties, the counties still got their how you call this thing? The counties still got the county development fund and some allotment that can be, given to the counties. Hey, we should not even be having too many problems in the country during the rainy season to move from one county to the other. Because lawmakers, outside of their legislative engagement with that, motion for motion for reconsideration, motion for adjournment, beside all the I saw move things that they doing in their chambers, their extra affairs should be able to give each of these counties their own road moving equipment to maintain the major highway. The people in Maryland should be able to fix the road every point of the year. All along the year, the whole round year, Marylanders should be able to fix the road from Maryland to the border between Maryland and Grand Creek. The people of Grand Creek should be able to fix the road from Grand Creek to the border with Maryland. The people of Maryland should be able to fix the road from Maryland to River G. They should be able to maintain it. The people of River G should also be able to maintain the road from River G to Maryland. When this kind of involvement are done by these lawmakers who are the principal leaders of the counties, you find the country moving smoothly. So one of the reasons why we can't get money to pump into public work and other stuff or pump into road construction is because bulk of the government money, like they are discussing the budget today, right? Bulk of the money generated in the budget are being spent on salaries. Bulk of the money in the budget are being spent on salaries. Every 3 years, we buy a vehicle for each lawmaker in the country. So the money we sort of used to be paying road to do this stuff, we're doing these things. Now we're not complaining because the position goes with dignity. We say, okay, it's a prestigious position, get car, get other immunity. Good. But use your extra legislative influence, your extra legislative workings to better provide for the county you are assigned to, the county you were elected to lead. All of these caucuses, the McGivey caucus, the Grand City caucus, the Maryland caucus, this other caucus, when these people go to their sitting room and say, look, Senator Kawa, Senator Will, Senator Vanja Colley, Senator this, Senator that, Representative this. Look, when you go to America, my man, you know what we do? Let's see we get kind of development fund. This year we get 100,000, or get 20,000, or get 30,000. Why you think we can pull 40,000 on the side? Go ask it. I mean, if you go to America, go ask a man, that yellow machine, man, how much the man can get it all for? Let's see what we can get some. Let's see whether we can talk to some money concession company already in our counties to know, for them to get us some money so that we can purchase money, this stuff as part of the social corporate responsibility. I'm saying this to you. When Louisville County, as a county with all of their legislative caucus present in the county administration, decide to own for themselves a road moving equipment that will maintain the road, that will take the road from Louisville to bring it to the bridge. I mean, I'm talking about the way the president is in now, right? I'm talking about the time where it never had any intervention. When that is in place, trust me, when they bring it to the Louisville bridge, The Bangala people take 2 tickets from Banga, they stop it to the preach. When each country have their own road moving equipment, rainy season or dry season, better car will go all across the country. There will be no hindrance. There will be no problem because the roads are being maintained. You have leaders who are thinking. I mean, this is just similar to the federal system. In the federal state, each of the states have their own local policy where local they want, local that one. Since our own is from central government, everything is from central government, we are putting the responsibility on these lawmakers who are the supreme deputies. You know, forget that the cost superintendent in there. It ain't working too much this time. The lawmakers are the real actors. I've seen superintendents submit to lawmakers before. I've seen superintendent go to meeting when lawmakers talking, superintendent talk. He told lawmakers shut up. So in this context, the lawmakers are the principal deputies. They are the principal, figures in each of the counties. Let them give more to the society. Let them do that. One man jump here and go in America and bring in 10, 15 buses to the country. It's a magic he play, consult him. It's playing magic. Ask, what are you doing to do these things? You got machine opening the road in Monserrato. You got buses all in the street in Monserrato. How are you doing it? Sarakisi man, I'm not too sure he will say no. He may want to tell you. Even if he will not tell you, you too have your own visa, immunities. You can travel, get on a plane, go to America, call Grangians who are in America and ask them, how do we grade some of these materials in America here to send it back to Kunemo district, to send it back to Zesttown, Toasttown, or whatever town. Get on the same airplane and go to America and ask Marylanders in America and say, how do we send these things back to Jedetabo? How do we send it to Plebo? How do we send it to Bacon? How do we send it to Wahola? That's what you do. Get on the plane and go and ask the Lofians in Lover County. How do we send it to Pueblo? How do we send it to Wasanga? How do we send these machines or these fire trucks to Kolahome? That's what you do. You said you get on the plane, you go do private live, then October 10, 15 senators come and go to the people. I saw the other senator people praying for him. So too many things happening right now, and Liberians are kind of confused. And that's what we say, when they go to you as these senators, they are also supposed to help. That's why you find all of the pressure on the government. Everybody here talking to the president, but there are other places monies are going. Let me break this thing down. For government to work, government can generate money. When government generate money, government can spend money. Our own expenditure in this country is not solely on infrastructure. Look, the money we can receive as a country, it was spending the money on roads, on building schools and hospitals. It was spending most of the money on building roads, schools, and hospitals the country developed ever since. But the budget is arranged in such a way that there is an income component and expenditure component. Our expenditure component of the budget is also divided into 2 segments. We have the recurring expenditure, and we have the investment component of the budget. Recurring expenditure, that money where you go to stretch car, you go to gasoline, you go to foreign travel, you go to the different everything that recurring expenditure. In our context as a country, we spend more money on recurring expenditure. It just go to salary. Most of the money we generated, all the taxes we collecting in the country, that people's salary will pay. For all the payroll, we gotta ask. For all the do that one, we gotta ask. Those who are in charge of that whole budget preparation process, those who are in charge of allotting the appropriating the resources are within the legislature. The senators are the ones in charge. Most of them, almost each of the county, you have 15 senators on the joint committee. They make this determination as to what goes to this ministry, what goes to the other ministry, how much the person is going to be making. They are the ones who make those kind of decisions. So since they can do the budget in such a way that later can go to real investment into the country, then let them be willing to shoot up the extra legislative responsibility to do the job. The reason why we are telling them to do it, because we have seen one lawmaker who is on record for doing it. So there should be nothing stopping the rest of them to do it. So I don't get home on it. So I don't get home on it to be facing road all across the plate, bringing medical things all across the plate. And one lazy senator, because he got no justifiable reason no justifiable, a reason for lying to the people on numerous occasions. He said, oh, so I'm doing other things during the country because I'm with the ruling party. If I'm in the ruling party, I'm going to do the same thing. That's why I want for her to vote for us. No. Sir was in the opposition when he became the only Liberian who had more ambulances than the very government of Liberia doing Ebola. And so you don't say that they don't be passing around and say, Sir facing role in 21 because he's part of the ruling party. Sir was never part of the ruling party in 2014 when he was saving Liberia, Guinea, Sierra Leone, and other places. So there is no excuse for that. The senators have to make up their mind. If I am elected for any reason, for example, I'm a senator in this place, the very day I'm given the opportunity to go to America is the day, in my capacity as a senator, is the day I'm going to rally the support of Marylanders or Monserrato people or people from Marquette, whichever county I'm going to be representing, is to ask them and say, hey, my brothers, our county, Marquette, is struggling. The government is challenged. Me, a representative or a senator, that we don't want to face the budget. But we finish doing the budget, we can get plenty of money to put aside to buy different everything, like the fire truck, like yellow machine to be, opening the village road. So, see, we not do that when the government get plenty of money, I can't do you. Our lake country will get 2 yellow machines, we'll get a fire truck, it will help us. So that the fire truck will not come away Maria before it go Kakata to go call a fire. We get our own fire truck right in Margibi. When it happens to smell, no take run there. It happens to unification time, run there. When you take this kind of conversation to citizens hailing from Margibi, residing in the diaspora, they will buy it. So when these citizens are working in entities where you have fire trucks that the entity won't use, but the fire trucks are useful in Liberia. That's how you do it. A friend of mine is in the United States. He's donating a fire truck to Grand Bassa County through the representative Matthew Joe. He's donating a fire truck to Grand Bassa County through the representative Matthew Joe. He's just one individual in the U.S., a Liberian in the United States. He's making that donation. It's going to be done this year. Now, imagine when one citizen of Bassa in America was able to link Matthew Joe to that in that situation. Now, think about the number of Grenadians in America. If you will go to them as a Grenadier senator to want to give ambulances and fire truck to Grenadier County. These are things we want you to do. It's not all going to be about the executive. It's not all going to be about this one, that one, and that's why we are beginning with the senators. This one, the representatives, you're cool. We're here on your one other day. You're on a day coming. But for now, the senators will have to understand. They will have to understand. They have 9 years. They should make the most of it. 15 of them will be sitting down relaxing this year, celebrating because they got nothing to lose. They got 6 extra years ahead of them. So they will not complain right now. They're not worried right now because they got extra 6 years. The rest of the 73 lawmakers from the lower house plus 15 senators will be running back to the people for re-election. You see how relaxing the senators are? You see how they are not even having too many stress on their mind? And that's why we are asking them to do more with their off-legislative involvement. Don't be hiding under that kind of bill. Well, the letter for lawmaking oversight representation. Okay, good. The representation issue is not only unique or tied to appearing in session, answering, pressing, absent, putting hand up for nay or yea, or doing I saw move motion for adjournment, motion for this one, that one. No, it's not restricted to it. The representation should take you beyond the borders of this country. It should make you to have involvement with your county people. There are prominent businesses in every county. There are prominent businesses that will want to contribute, but they want to identify a unique cause. Look at County Meet, the national competition. Do you see how much money county people put behind their teams? Whenever county is having their mobilization, do you see how many citizens from each county can rally to go give the county people money? I saw Bon County recently. Not many of us knew that Bon County had people like Johnny. Yeah, Johnny, who is one of the richest men in the county meet. Johnny was there giving Bon County money, giving player minerals. Now, when the county leadership, headed by the lawmakers, are so innovative in such a way that it will come up with this kind of brilliant, innovative ideas and start to solicit the support of county citizens nationally and beyond the international boundaries. Trust me, there's going to be a lot of simultaneous development all across this country. See, our budget is heavily, the expenditure component is heavily relying on, it's heavily allocated towards the issue of salaries, and lawmakers do are the folks who take good portion of that salary. And see, we ain't got nothing in the budget going to do project. Use your influence, and you will not spend more money. Not much money will come from your pocket because you already have the cloud of leadership. You have the power. You have a portfolio that can take you anywhere. When I go stand online for visa right now, and lawmaker will stand for visa, the possibility of the lawmaker coming outside with a card, with both stamp is high. For me, my own may be slim because, I'm an ordinary citizen. So you can fly anywhere you want to go. You can fly anywhere you want to go. No country in this country is cursed. All the countries in the country, to a greater extent, have their personal country people living all across the world. They may be pushing cartoon, but some of the places where they're pushing cartoon, those places get fire truck, where Braden ever said they're not using it. A Braden for America, some other truck that they let them coming home. Some other country, they light up, some other those truck, the lights are not coming on. I'm not saying that is your job. I'm not saying that's why you were elected for. No, that's not why you were elected for as senators. But this is what you should be involved with. Your extra responsibility and what you should be involved with, because when you want job, you go building pumps. Don't tell me say I don't want job. When you want job, right now, the 15 senators who are running for re-election, they are building pumps. They are putting zinc on people's houses. You are building Palava huts. You building public latrine. You building bridges around here. When you are elected and you say it's not our job to do the project. No, that's what you introduce. You got to do it. But this, the way we tell you to do it in this situation is to lobby with you, to ask you to follow other path. Since you cannot get it through the national budget because of competing national priorities, do it through your lobbyistic power. I bet you, irrespective of who's in charge as the president, regardless of who is the president of the country, when each lawmaker is adequately involved with their county in terms of mobilizing resources and the people from the county towards the common good of that particular county, you will have a general accumulation of results from a national perspective. Simple math. Very simple. Very simple. So when you blend that with what the national government will be doing, boom, that's a whole big deal. That's a whole big deal. I'm going to submit so that we take course. Way back in the interior, when they used to move the paramount chiefs from one place to the other, how they used to do it? When the paramount chief, okay, let me use President Tubman. I was not alive, but they told me the story, and I'm gonna mention it. They said when Tubman used to be traveling across the country, when Tubman said, I go in Maryland today, the people from Fennia would tow him and carry him to Kakata. So if the road from Fennia to Kakata not brush, the Fennia people will brush the road from Fennia to Kakata, they stop right there. When they go, they take Tubman over in the hammer. Kakata people too will brush their road from Kakata to Banga. They will tow Tubman and carry him to Banga. Banga people's job is to brush the road from Banga to Ganta. They take all of the Ganta people. Ganta people will brush it from Ganta to Tapeta. That's how they used to do it. That's the simple thing I'm trying to do. I'm trying to suggest here, but from a modern perspective. Each of the counties, I saw Nima County doing that a few years ago. I don't know why they did not maintain it. They had their own road moving equipment that they were using to rehabilitate their own roads. If each of the county can just have the road move, we say take your machine and carry to Grand Crew and go work when you in Maryland. No. Just clean your road regularly from Grand Crew and take it to Maryland border. Put it there. When the Marylanders to take it from Plebo and be cleaning it regularly, pass to Bolowo and carry and put it to Ulowe and the border between Plebo and the boundary between Plebo and Grand Crew. Once it is there, trust me, you can get on bicycle from Plebo straight to Bagley. There will be no issue because the two counties have their own road moving equipment. That can be a team from a collaboration with the county authority and the legislative caucus plus prominent sons and daughters from the counties. That's how you build the country. So when national government come to do their own, that's a plus. That's a bonus. Everybody moving is a win-win situation. Liberians want to contribute, but they want that genuine platform that will be available. They want that innovative leadership that will be available. And not all the things they can teach in school. And not all the things they can teach in school. Some of the things are common sense. Common sense. Not all of the things you learn in school. Let's take our break. To be right back. Yeah, we're going to take our break. To be right back. When we come back, we start taking your calls. It's not all the things you will have to learn in school. These are just simple, innovative things that will help alleviate the suffering. You can put growing palm nut, the growing pineapple, the growing bananas all in the interior. They cannot bring them to town because these counties don't even have their own simple road equipment. If the people can use their shovel and hoe in the interior, in the villages to clean their roads, you are the senators, you have access to America and other places, you have access to a Lottie County Development Fund and other things. Why don't you do it? Since you cannot do it through empowering the Minister of Public Works to have their sub public work, a road equipment entity across the country, then you do it through your own county level. That's how you do it. We're taking calls. We're taking our break. To be right back.
Hello. I want to talk about violence. Mob violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the sort of vigilante-side justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we have seen in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Simon.
Okay, all right. So peace in Monrovia, peace in Liberia. Let's have your conversation right here. Let's have your own input right here on the conversation. That's what I meant. And on this wonderful, wonderful Valentine's Day in Monrovia. The lines are 86 500 104 0776 104 104. To be a part of the conversation. My name is Kine, Oliver Kine. I'm here alone on this wonderful, wonderful edition. Let's take the first caller. Your name and where do you join us from? Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Oliver, how you doing?
I'm good. What's your name?
Okay, this is the voice of
Go ahead, David. Go ahead, David.
Oliver, I don't want to take more time because you are very old. Okay? And we have Liberians, we know what our first name is in this country. So we will not sit there and come October 10th and bring our country into those strangers' hands. What our country is doing is going to put it back so we can complete our development within this country. Thank you so much.
We'll leave you with taking out the press in 1 minute. Go ahead. Good evening, Chief. Leave your radio. It's unhealthy for us. Go ahead. Let's hear you. Your background is a little bit noisy. Please make some adjustment. Let's hear you. Go ahead.
Because these countries are not helpful for our food, so we always put in the blame on the president. And you are educated on today that we don't know that our poverty is
This other person, 1 minute, go ahead.
Okay, this is something for the consent of people.
Go ahead, something. Let's hear you.
You see, I know some people that wish to be in leadership, you don't have it.
Oh my God. What? Oh, we lost you. Let's take this question. Hello, go ahead.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm. Let's hear you.
I'm Nicholas Kofago from Canada.
Go ahead.
Really, I'm very enjoying the really senator and people here sit down and say on why it is good. I want to make the content to go power. The monarchy down coming before the start budget to see where both me on that thank you.
Okay.
For that idea.
Thank you very much. We'll leave you right there. Let's take the other person. Hello.
Hello,
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead. From. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll leave you right there. Let's take the other person. Hello. Go ahead. Let's hear you, Chief.
This is Tano F. Duana, and I talk to you from Bamu.
Go ahead, Tano.
Yeah, you know the problem with having this country, we Liberians, we are our own problem. When the president said that this or tenure of senators should be reduced from 9 to 6, we have problem with it. So we just get spoke, we just rhyme on us and just be benefiting themselves and their children. So for me, I don't really believe these senators. We ourselves, we are Liberians, because when we're coming to the tenure reduced, then by this time we're talking differently. Thank you very much.
We'll leave you. Let's take this international caller. What is the name? Where do you join us from?
My name is William Masiko, and I join you from Pennsylvania.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Masiko.
Alright, so first let me say happy Valentine's Day to my darling wife, Mrs. Tata Kona Masiko. So now to the issue. Okay, like you said, your analysis were all just straight and to the point. If Sir Joseph as a senator can travel outside of Liberia and be able to lobby it to bring storm back to Monserrato County, then why more about other senators that can also do the same thing? And probably they don't have confidence in themselves to travel and be able to be the other stakeholders in other countries to be able to help their people. Let me have a legislative corporate for each other county. Their concentration should not only just be on how much they can take pay every month, how much they can get. Let them be able to give back to their very countries to be meaningful by lobbying the same way. Like it's a very small country, so all of these people can just consider that they are effort and work together as a team, but it will make a lot of positive impact in the lives of their people. But they are just reluctant. They don't want to travel, they feel so complacent every month they take a pay, they get a gas rate, and that's it. Why can't you travel and be able to make the changes in the lives of the people that you represent? Like I said, they have less of responsibility as compared to the representatives. I really feel for those representatives, okay, because they are direct representatives of the people.
Oh, yeah.
You find a lot of people going you find a lot of people going to the representative house to assist them as compared to senators.
Oh, yeah.
And then they find that. And they make even more impact in the lives of the people as compared to those senators. Sam Joseph is just exceptional, okay? It's just a people-driven person. If other senators from other counties, even from my own county, Grand Cape County, can take the lead, start to do some of these things, Grand Cape County will be a better place. Bumi County will be a better place. Because these are counties that are very close to Monserrato County. But yet, all the senators, they feel so complacent, they take their pay. They don't want to make any other extra effort to improve the lives of our people. And that is just regrettable and sad. But they're going to regret it this coming election. I know a lot of them going to regret it. So right now they're trying to get involved with the people. You don't want to election time, it's time to get involved with the people. Get involved with the people for the option once you get employed, because that's what you're being employed for. Try to help the people change their lives.
Thank you.
Just about you going to work, take pay. Yeah, okay, I appreciate the time, and you guys have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We leave you right there, my brother. We leave you right there. Let's take more of the calls here. I keep having a lot of calls. This person. Hello, 1 minute. Good evening, Chief. Let's hear you, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead, Matthew. Let's hear you, sir.
I did not ban the conversation on the brother says you have a lawmaker who have run this country without lawmakers. The reason being, our lawmakers are now pushing the agenda of the Liberian people. Instead of prioritizing the Liberian people's interests, our interests are being substituted. Those guys are not doing well for the Liberian people. They are all powerfully better. They are all about themselves. Thank you.
We'll leave it right there, my brother. That's your opinion. There are some of them who are exceptional. We are only calling them to order so that they do more in the supreme interest of the people of our country. That's what it is. This person, what's your name? Where do you join us from? Go ahead, my brother. Let's hear you. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Wow. I can't believe that was your only input. This person, hello, 1 minute. Good evening, my brother. Let's hear you, sir.
Thank you, William.
Go ahead, William. We'll leave you right there. Let's take this other person. Go ahead. Let's hear you. 1 minute. Go ahead. Let's hear you, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. We leave you right there. We take this other person quickly. Let's hear you. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. What's your name?
Thank you. This is the people's governor. The most talk about district number 10 governor, members of the Respond and Defending Adamso Isaac.
1 minute.
My man, you said it right. These are small things. If the guardian they representing over the team, the spell of some of them, they are complete embarrassment to all. Look at our own district here today. It's just because of God and the God-fearing leader that we have with the intervention. Our God, our district looking bright and shining that they body building when we keep on some of them. So we want to say kudos to Honorable Joseph because he's doing extremely well. But now with some of these lawmakers, and more especially with our own embarrassment, when we get in the district, when we pray by the grace of God for God to deliver us. Thank you for the airtime.
We leave you right there, my brother. Let's leave you. Our issue is to call on them. As they will be going back to you for elections, these are things you should be suggesting to them. Yeah, they'll be going to you to be elected in the Senate. Tell them, make them to understand that, hey, these positions you want, when we give it to you, be innovative. Go outside. 400 census in God. You got the same 5 census everybody got. Why you want to make the man to appear like he's so indispensable? Let's take this other person. 1 minute. Go ahead quickly. Let's hear you. No time.
Thank you very much, Shukam. I'm very humble, exceedingly humble, very gratified to be on the platform at this time.
Go ahead, Poker Robert. Go ahead.
I'm Poker Robert, and I join you from Over People Resident on the capital of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Shukam, you said it all, and you are very effectively. I mean, you are effectively to the point. What is the income? That process is not losing, or let's say, or let's say, extraordinary power that actually getting you to do what he's doing now. He's not using it. He can see power, he can see influence, the see influence that all of them got. But that process is neutralizing his own. But what they are doing their own. What they are doing with their own. They are setting one for only themselves and their family. But tomorrow, you know what? Some of our leaders, some of our own lawmakers, for the secrecy, trust me, they will face it 3 months, democratic, second election. And for us, we are only all loyalty for the 4 years to the SLFC. Not any lawmaker, not going for our party. If you are not performing your duty as a representative, these leaders will be there for you tomorrow. No. Trust me, you will fight your own sweat. You will fight your own battle. But for that, so we are enjoying.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Poker Robert. We will be way ahead, and that is what you meant. We will be more ahead as a country. There will be a lot of progress. This person, we will hear you. Let's hear you. Go ahead quickly. Good evening. Let's hear you. What's your name? Mohammed from UAE. Go ahead, Mohammed.
You know, my brother, thank you for your analysis here on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, see our senator for Grand Kema County, Vanessa, we gave him 9 years. Out of the 9 years he was running, he promised the people of Dia. It's a bridge that leading from Dia to Gosaguido. That bridge has been damaged for the past many years. He promised the people, he said in the first 6 months, that bridge will be there. He went to Damala. He promised the people in Damala, he said when he becomes senator, that bridge will be there through the county development fund. He went Bamala and promised the people, the same British name, he promised the people. Since Vanessa becomes senator, he left from Kidman. I think this year is the one that he started going Kidman. I saw him yesterday to Medina. He went, he sat down there. Few people start praying for him. He said he start praying. When have you known that God exists? When the people were suffering to vote for you, some people lose their life with the promise he made. All the money we have other resources in Kema. What Vanessa did?
We leave you right there, my brother. We leave you right there. We leave you right there, my brother. That's the Kema issue. Our issue is from a general perspective. We are actually senators. Yeah, as we go into you, tell them whether because the thing is, no senator will tell you that they will stop the kind of money they are making. So as they will be going to the Senate, they too will have the same opportunity side other people are having at the moment. What are they going to do? Are they going to behave like Sai? If possible, Sai may not be re-elected. Would they cultivate the same kind of mindset? Would they have the same attitude towards transforming the country? Those are things we want to be talking about. We're squeezing the last 2 callers, then we call it a day here on 87.9. This person, go ahead, 1 minute.
Thank you.
Reverend Ty, let's hear you, Reverend.
Thank you for your splendid declaration today. Most of these senators, they are politicians who only interest is centered around themselves. And as such, they do not have a developed mind. They cannot love it or even go outside of law to discuss issues relative to Liberian development. A
Thank you.
So we want to tell our people to open their heart and then put somebody people out. When you pray.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We'll take the second to the last person. 1 minute. Go ahead. Let's hear you. Go ahead, Myers.
So I want to tell that you said you don't worry because the election will be elected. Then I want to see you also to the road from FJ Johnson that go on the FJ for my very bad. That's what I was
Go to the main office. The last caller. This person. Hello, 1 minute. Go ahead. Let's hear you. Amen. We leave you right there. We leave you right there, my dear. The intent is not to condemn. The intent is not to pass on verdict. The intent is not to ensure that we keep anybody out of office. Our issue is to have a rapid development in our country. It is possible. Nobody should say it is not. When an individual who is in the same chambers with you at the Liberian Senate can do it, what's stopping the rest of the 14 of you in doing the same thing? What's stopping the rest of the 29 of you in doing the same thing? What's stopping the rest of the 102 of you in doing the same thing? There are several of you in your own personal ways, making your own personal contribution, but we want to have this as a joint approach from a caucus level. The first thing, the different legislative caucuses from the different counties should start to work in harmony, build a formidable force of unity, and that is the only way forward. That is the only way you can have the chance to go beyond the borders of Liberia and solicit funds for the sole purpose of elevating your counties, your district, and the Republic of Liberia as a whole. My name is Kai. On this wonderful, wonderful Valentine's Day, as I'll be going, I want to say how's up to all of you listening. Happy Valentine from our end. Most especially the Honorable Madam Nico Lofty Kinapo. Baby boy in Austin will say soon to be kind. Bye-bye from our end. Bye-bye.